Hello, my name is Darren Galurkin. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight in the American Society of Criminology. I'm very happy to be here and speak to you about the growing controversy about increased criminalization of certain antisocial behaviors in our society and how it will impact our criminal justice system going on the next 5 years. And so um, it's good to start with describing the three paradigms in law and that the ones that are relevant as well. I think Professor James Driley says it well, and he defines a paradigm as a fundamental image of the subject matter within a science. So the first consensus paradigm in terms of paradigms in law, um, this is the consensus paradigm. So it's about a community consisting of like-minded individuals who agree on common goals that they feel are important to their survival. Um, it serves as a tool for unification. It's a majority holds the opinion that something is wrong, then it's wrong, and it's a method of solidarity. Um, it's different in the sense of individual beliefs being different because it's a consensus. This is usually when everyone agrees that something is just in the law. The opposite of that would be a conflict paradigm. So this is a view of law that it's used as a tool of power. It's used by the powerful to their own gain and their own purpose. It's restrictive, the law is, it's repressive, and those in control of the law determine how the law is defined. So this really is not a consensus. This is going upon different views, that it's really us against them type of a paradigm like that. There's also, lastly, the pluralist, paradigm, and this is law is seen as arising from an interest groups that are in flux. So you have an economic order, political order, religious order, education. There's so many different interest groups, and they can affect the law. And this is what the paradigm really goes after. Is just the who's controlling the law and for what interests are they controlling it. In terms of comparing the idea of our criminal law system as an adversarial system to other descriptions of how a courtroom works and the relationship between legal professionals, there's an attorney, Mr. Tamayo, and I think he describes it very well, where he talks about the fact that just because someone's a defense attorney or a prosecutor, it doesn't mean that they don't have to be friends or they're not friendly. Mr. Tamayo even goes on to say that in his 30 years of practicing law, he's seen nothing but judges and attorneys working their hardest to make the system work and see that justice is done. A lot of people do think that it's very adversarial, but I think that attorneys, both district attorneys and defense attorneys, are really working together to just make sure that the fruits of the case are presented and that everything is being done in the interest of the judicial system, and make sure that justice is served. So without that, the system really wouldn't be fair, and we wouldn't have the system we have today. So it's very important that both sides of the courtroom respect each other and assist each other in what they need, because in the end, that's what will determine someone's guilt or innocence. Lastly, I'd like to describe ways that we can make our criminal law system less adversarial. I think that definitely attacking how much attorneys defense attorneys in particular make or can charge is something that is important to look at. I don't think someone should get a defense based on how much they can spend on that defense. I think everyone is due their day in court and should have the best representation possible. I also think that really setting examples about celebrities getting preferential treatment. We've seen cases with Lindsay Lohan, who has had multiple opportunities at probation, has been sentenced to jail, and we'd have to look at ways of, has she been treated differently? Would she have been given jail much sooner than multiple tries at probation? I think also the complexity of going to court, the costs, especially on individuals that don't have a lot of money. This obviously makes it seem much more adversarial if someone cannot afford the representation that this country affords them. That's kind of an issue. So I also think that that prosecution and judges can look at ways of assisting people in rehabilitation for drug use or antisocial behaviors instead of punitive repercussions. Maybe giving someone rehabilitative options will help much better, because they'll get into the community and feel less that the government or the law enforcement's against them, that they're actually there to keep them safe and help them. So those are some of the ways that I think that we can make things less adversarial. I do appreciate you listening and taking the time to listen to me today. Again, if there's anything that we can discuss going further, I'd love to discuss that. I think it's very important, this entire conversation that we're having. I think in this day and age, we've never seen such differences in law enforcement and the public in terms of the adversarial system. I think that police are out there doing the best they can under the extreme circumstances that they have to go through every day. And I think that the people out there, they're having a big opium epidemic at this time. We need to see a lot of assistance for them. We need to see a lot of programs and rehabilitative placements that these people can go to, that they can get the help they need. I think if we can work on those things, understanding that being a police officer is very difficult in this day and age and very dangerous, also understanding where people are coming from, their socioeconomic situations, and the family life. If we can have a better understanding from both sides, that's the way that we can really help things along and make the system work better for everyone. So again, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me tonight, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.